Hello, I'm Bernie Hayes, and today's show will be a very special show. As you can see, we have an empty chair. We'll be paying tribute and honoring the late mayor of Dellwood, Missouri, Reggie Jones. We'll find out some intricacies about Reggie. We'll show his wardrobe. We'll talk about his faith. He was a multi-complex person, but he was always there for you, always there for his constituents, always there for the community. Mayor Reggie Jones was something else that we all should know about. We'll talk about his wardrobe, his parents, his church, his faith, the many things that he does in the community, and why. Because Reggie Jones was a very special person. He's visited us many, many times here at the New Life Evangelistic Center, and he had a love for also Reverend Larry Rice and the New Life Evangelistic Center. Reggie Jones is our guest today. We'll remember him, honor him, and pay tribute to his honor. And we thank you for allowing us to do this for Dellwood Mayor Reggie Jones. Always good to see what you're dressed in.
Yeah, got to brighten it up a little bit.
I love it.
Yes,
and the shoes even.
Oh yeah, yes sir. Yes,
beautiful, sir. Beautiful. I mean, Reggie Jones, I want to compliment you on your jacket. You have a different jacket every time I see you.
Yeah.
And it shows your personality, it's bright and colorful.
Well, that's one of everybody has a trademark.
Yeah.
You have the socks, and you always have a nice tie and suit, and I'm a blazer guy. A friend of mine years ago had a blazer on one day that I really just liked, and it kind of got me intrigued about blazers, and so I really have gotten, I'm not saying infatuated with them, but it's just kind of really my little hobby. I try to find different blazers. I don't like just plain blazers. I like blazers that have a little attention and can cause a little conversation,
sure,
but yet be a little fashionable, and so I'm known for that when I go to meetings and things that people actually wait to see what I'm going to be having on.
I was waiting today.
Yeah, right, what I'm having on that day. I like to wear blue jeans with my blazers. I'm not really a suit person anymore. Mm-hmm. I used to be I wear suits when necessary, but I like to wear blazers and blue jeans. That's kind of my style each and every day, where I can stay ready for whatever is coming up. I can go to meetings, I can go to events, whatever, and still have
sure,
look what I call casually clean is what I call it.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Reggie, why did you want to run for mayor?
I ran for mayor because I felt that I could make a difference, and I had a vision that I think was beneficial to the community where I lived. I mean, often when you live places, you want to make an impact on it, and what better way to make an impact by being the mayor of that community? And so it's not that I wanted to be mayor and dreamed of being a mayor. But I've always been thought that I was put here to lead and serve, and so at that moment, that opportunity came about, and I don't regret it one bit. I enjoy each and every day talking to residents, trying to find a solution. I'm even challenged by. I like challenges of problems that are really kind of hard to solve, and see if I can really come up with something. And we just for an example, we have a groundhog problem, like some communities in St. Louis County. And I had a couple of residents call me, reach out, like, we have these groundhogs, we don't know what to do. And so I said, well, I started a groundhog removal program, and so I went and bought cages, went online and purchased a bunch of groundhog and rodent cages, and we, when residents call, we place them in their home, on the property. And we're catching groundhogs, we're catching possums, we catch, So it's simple, but it's something that every community can do if you want to do it.
It's effective.
And so I just enjoy when residents have an issue, instead of finding ways not to do it or not to solve it, try to find a way to solve it, because the government works for the people. And this is their government, this is their tax dollars, this is their money. City Hall is their house, it's not mine. And so I take the approach that, I'm working. I have over 5,000 bosses as far as residents, and I work in that capacity. So there's not a lot that I won't do or attempt to try to solve in our community.
What support do you get from the Joneses?
The Joneses?
The Joneses, household of Joneses.
Oh, my mom, my wife. And My wife has been married 26 years to my wife, and she's right there side by side with me. She's not really a political person, but she has learned and accepted that this is what I do, and she's very supportive. And she's a great person to have as a teammate, because I couldn't do it without the blessings of her. Because often when you're a political official, your spouse and family are pulled in to whatever you have going on. And so my kids have always, they're growing up, helping with my campaigns, so they understand about campaigning and service. And so my family's been great to me and great support, and couldn't do it without them.
Tell us about your parents.
I had the ideal parent. I had the strong father, the disciplinarian, hard union working man, who led by example, hard work and take care of his family. And then I had the caring mother who took care of our emotional needs and just our everyday needs. And so that blend, man, really kind of molded who I am today. Just watching how they moved, how they work with people, how they took care of individuals, how they help people in the neighborhood, help their families. I mean, you learn what you see, and I was blessed to see that for so many years, to have some great parents who were very active in the community. My mom was the block captain for many years over in the old 27th Ward. And so I was just I had a lot of examples to learn from. And so I think I contributed a lot of that to my success today.
You also mentioned about your faith. Tell us about your faith.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I serve as a deacon at New Sunny Mount Baptist Church. Once again, it's something that was ideal, because it's about service and being a servant. And I enjoy working with the families at our church and just being there for them and their needs. And when it comes to weddings or funerals or just financial situations, being able to be that person to kind of help those families bridge that gap and just be there for them spiritually. And the good thing about that, it ties right into what we're doing. When you're a Christian, that's why I have so much respect for Reverend Rice. And I just had a conversation actually yesterday with someone. We're talking about the homeless and things of that sort. And I said, one thing about him, I was going to have a lot of respect for Reverend Rice, because he does what pastors and churches are supposed to do, helping the least of these. And if you call yourself a Christian, but you don't have that affection for those who need help the most, then something is wrong. And so I think my faith and serving as deacon in New Sunny Mount Missionary Baptist Church under the direction of Reverend Blake, formerly Reverend Hunter,
Donald Hunter.
It ties right into what the work I'm doing now. Because being a mayor, you're doing God's work. It's really a ministry, actually. The calls I get, the problems people are having, they look to the mayors almost as a pastor. Yeah. I mean, I do home visits.
You're a leader.
I go to the hospital and visit my residents. Yeah. I go to rehab to try to encourage them. I attend funerals of their loved ones and things of that sort, And so it kind of works hand in hand, the deacon and mayor, and it kind of really helps. Really, both kind of serve, works with each other. And I'm just blessed to be in a position that I can help others. I'm just blessed that I can do that. I'm always.
And also, I know you're a blues man too.
Yeah, I like a little blues.
Bobby Rush is your good friend.
I like a little blues. I used to go. My parents were big blues lovers. I remember as a kid coming up on Saturday listening to Lou Father Times on KTZ. Yeah. On Saturday mornings playing the blues, and I just fell in love. I had to fall in love, but I heard it so much, I naturally fell in love with it. And so I would even attend concerts at Club 54 with my parents.
Wow. Okay.
And I went to one concert and met Bobby Rush. At that time, I was really in your footpath. I was actually going to school to be a DJ.
Wow. Okay.
At that time, I was going to Flow Valley and working on 89.5 KCFV, and I met Bobby Rush at a concert. My parents were there, and we immediately hit it off and just stayed friends until the end. That was over 30-some years ago.
Yeah,
and he connected with me. Yeah. We talked on the phone. To this day, we text and stuff. And he's just an awesome guy. He's just very personable. And he's, to be around as long as he has, he's definitely been blessed. And I'm just a big fan of his music, as well as just how he moves around. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink. And so just to see him transform, he deserves the best, man. He's been doing it right, doing it for a long time, and he's being blessed for it at 93 years old.
And welcome back. I am Bernie Hayes, and we're paying special tribute to the late mayor of Dellwood, Missouri, Reggie Jones. And we'll be right back after these words from Larry Rice, who became a friend of Mayor Reggie Jones, and he has a few words about Reggie.
Reggie Jones, mayor of Dellwood, was a mayor who cares, showing that in so many different ways. During the special memorial that Bernie Hayes is having in behalf of Reggie Jones, I pray that you'll be challenged, just like it's challenging me, that God has given us an opportunity in this world to really make a big difference. Life is not a success by just having a duration, but it's by donation. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints, and often those saints go at a young age. How you and I are challenged at this particular moment to use our time and talents to reach out and care for other people, to make a difference in our community. We may not be mayors of our communities, but we can actually reach out and help those that Jesus said, as oft you've done to the least of these, even so you've done to me. Whether it's the fatherless, the widowed, the hurting, the homeless. We have unprecedented opportunities. What we need to do is give him our lives and not our excuses. And Reggie Jones, he gave his life in service to help others that are in need. What are they going to say about you or me or others when it's our time to go and be with the Lord? Has our life been one of donation or just duration? We want to frequently spend all kinds of efforts to live as long as we can. Well, the real meaning of life is a life of donation. And God has given each one of us that opportunity every day, whether it's helping the person that's on the street corner, whether it's helping that abused woman, that mother with their child, people that don't have literally anywhere else to go, or people that may be just struggling to survive day by day. Let's, each one of us, surrender our lives to the Lord, and let's continue to let his love flow in us and through us. Praise God, he's given us another day. Let's use that day as a day of donation unto the Lord, where we can let his love flow through us, where we can be the answers to the prayers of those that are crying out, "Oh Lord, help me," at this moment. So don't harden your heart, don't look the other way, but provide that donation that life gives us an opportunity to do such. Reggie Jones, thank you for the donation that you've made of service. Now each and every one of us have that opportunity at this particular moment in life.
How proud of you of being a St. Louisan, Reggie?
I'm very proud. I love being from this area. I know there's some challenges that we have, but most cities have challenges, and I think what I like about, how I've grown up, I've had different ways of growing up. So I'm born and raised in North St. Louis, basically Walnut Park East, but I went to school in Parkway Central. So I saw both worlds. I saw how to navigate, through the north side of St. Louis. And then I went to school with some of the richest children in the county, in Chesterfield, Parkway Central. And so that actually helped me, I think, to be a better leader today, because I know how to balance and know how to deal with, different cultures and different people and things of that sort. So I'm very proud of my upbringing in St. Louis, and I think St. Louis has a lot to offer, and I think it needs some work to be done, but I think we can get there.
How did you choose a life of public service?
I choose, my parents were very active. My dad was a big-time shop steward with the Teamsters Union, which, that helps folks, in their job duties, getting their job back, fighting against, unlawful, unrightful things in the workplace. My mom was a postal worker, but she also was a block captain, very busy, very active in the neighborhood. Actually, my parents were some of the first supporters of then Alderman Reggie Jones, who was our alderperson back when it was the old 27th Ward. And my dad and my mom really worked closely with Vervis during those times. I remember as a kid coming downstairs, seeing my mom and dad in the living room with Vervis talking about issues in the neighborhood. Sure. Me and Tashara went to actually elementary school together. We stayed a block apart.
Former mayor of City St. Louis.
Yeah, former mayor Tashara Jones. So I was introduced to kind of the political stuff at a young age. I was kind of watching things work and how it worked. But the guy that really got me interested in politics and serving was Alderman Freeman Bosley Sr., who, while I was working at Herbert Hoover and started working at Herbert Hoover as a young man, to watch some things, he was our alderperson for that area.
Yeah, he's that ward, yeah.
Yeah, 3rd Ward at that time. I had never seen a person that can pick up a phone a black man that can make some things happen like he could. And I was really amazed by the power and the respect he had from people at City Hall and people in the community. And that really kind of I start looking at one day I could, not necessarily have that kind of power, but have that kind of impact on my community that he had on his.
Well, apparently you do, because everybody I talked about Reggie Jones, man, they're enamored. They just glorify you, man. They embrace you. They embrace your name. They embrace what you do.
Yeah, I think one of the things you have is your name, and once you lose that, you're in trouble. Mm-hmm. And so I try to, have a good reputation, do what's right, treat everybody right. Even if I disagree with people, maybe politically, it's not personal. I don't take politics personal. I think it's one thing that has helped me be able to navigate, to work with all people, because politics is not personal for me. Once we disagree on the politics, then it shouldn't be personal. We can move on and still be friends, hang out, or whatever. But I don't agree with my own family members every day.
Sure.
So I'm not going to agree with a politician every day. So I think that's the problem we have in this country today. We take politics too personal, and that creates enemies, and it doesn't have to. You can just disagree and then move on to the next subject.
What lesson are you trying to show the kids at Herbert Hoover? What life lessons?
Well, first of all, we want to create the next leaders. Mm-hmm. There are kids in that building right now who's going to be the next maybe congressman, who will be the next police officer, because I've been there long enough to see when Brandon Bosley was a kid and he became an alderman, when Lakeisha Bosley was a little girl and she became state representative. Sure. When Michael Butler was a kid coming there every summer camp, and I usually recorded her deeds. Right. So I've seen that happen. So when the triplets who are, became police officers, now they're all still in law enforcement. So because of my history and my, longevity there, I know the kids we have there are going to be one day very impactful in this community. And so I'm very mindful of that. And so I want to make sure that in some kind of way I can be the conduit to help them get from there to being our next leaders and become productive citizens in this community.
Well, you're certainly our role model.
I'll try to be.
You are. And welcome back. My guest is Reggie Jones. We're honoring him today. And now, Reverend Chris Aaron Rice has a special tribute about loving thy neighbor, one that sure manifests what Reggie Jones did all the time. He loved his neighbor. So let's hear from Chris Aaron Rice.
What does God want you to do as a Christian? He wants you to devote your entire life to loving Him, placing Him first in your life. And from that place of devotion and love, He wants you to love others and to serve them as you love yourself. This means loving the immigrant. This means loving the homeless panhandler. This means loving the criminal. This means loving your neighbor and your enemy equally. So love the Christian who's sitting in the pew next to you, no matter where they're at in life. Love the person in greater need by extending hospitality, grace, kindness, and love. Love with your actions, because that's what God requires of you. If you truly love God, you will love others well, recognizing that He loves you first.
So do you know most of the people, not most of the people, but most of your constituents? I mean, you interact with them?
Yeah, I interact with them. Hey, listen, I go to weddings, I go to funerals, unfortunately. I go, I'm going to visit one of my residents who's in rehab right now, who fell and broke her hip. So I really go beyond the call, and I think that's what kind of connects me with my people. I'm not afraid to do, to go even places that are kind of uncomfortable, as far as cultural wise. Right. Dellwood is not, Dellwood is probably 80% African American, 20% Caucasian. And no matter who is being affected, I'm going to, attend or visit or whatever. I don't make any determinations, based on, race or status if I'm going to support you or come visit you. So I make it a fact to be accessible. I think that's what when you sign up for these offices, you are basically saying that you belong to the people. Right. And sometimes people don't understand that. You can't be elected and then you want to hide and don't want to be accessible. Nice. That's not what this is about. Especially in a small town mayor because when I go to Family Dollar or Walmart, I run into everybody in my community, and we have conversations.
And they know you.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say, well, I don't feel like talking, I'm shopping. No, they want to ask about this pothole or about this program coming up, and you have to be willing to have those conversations. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. How did this come about? What gave you this forthright wanting to help, that attitude that you had?
Well, I attribute to my parents, particularly my mom. My mom, who I lost last year, unfortunately, really was a woman who helped everybody. And even when she passed, I found out some things she was doing I didn't even know that she did. But I knew she was the type of person. I just can't explain the type of person she was, but she was just a person that if you needed help, she was there. And you're growing up, you're watching this, and you're watching how important that is to watch a person help any and everybody, even helping people who other people wouldn't help or didn't want to deal with, and like cast-offs or black sheeps of the family.
Sure. But
she was always there for those people, no matter what. And as you grow up and you're seeing that, it just naturally manifests inside of myself, And I just wanted to always do something, and I didn't necessarily want to know if it was politics, but I always wanted to do something to help people. That's why I started the Boys and Girls Club. That was my first, actually my only full-time job I've ever had in my life is where I'm at now, Boys and Girls Club. So all I know is Herbert Hoover. That's all I know is helping people. That's all I know. And so it started there, wanting to help people, and in that case, help families and help kids, get on a right path, and which I've seen. I've been there 30 years, so I've seen kids, that have done some amazing things coming out their club, and they contribute some of that to the leadership of the club and staff that helped them get there. So all of that combined as a young person, my mom watching her and what she did and just being able to Boys and Girls Club, really all that stuff just manifests together, and I think it just ties right into politics and helping the community.
A lot of folks think black youth, they're at risk and they're going to maybe be in trouble and so forth. That wasn't Reggie Jones.
Right.
You didn't fall through the cracks. You never in the cracks.
Right. And I grew up in Roanoke Park. So make no mistake, I didn't grow up in Dellwood.
Yeah.
I'm a North Sider,
Right.
And so I grew up in North St. Louis, but I had great parents.
Yeah.
I think it makes a difference when you have a mom and dad in the home who, believe in this. I had the perfect setup. I had the mom who was give you the emotional and that kind of support.
And the dad would break your neck.
Dad who didn't play. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the perfect mix that you needed, and it just worked perfectly because, my mom was just so loving, but when it came down to some discipline, Daddy came home from work, it was on.
It's serious business.
It was on. And then, we had a kind of family, we ate together, we got home from school. There was no, today people just come home and grab the refrigerator. My mom had dinner ready. We couldn't touch the food until Dad came home.
That's beautiful.
So that's the kind of house I grew up in.
That was a family unit.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that has an effect on, how I raised my family as well.
That's great.
You do so many things for so many people, Reggie, but what inspires you?
Well, the Bible. Because the Bible talks about helping the least of these. And it's always has attracted me in my daily goings. And so I really take that serious. I think that we're here to help individuals. And that's what I think my goal and purpose is. I think I was, put on this earth and put in these positions so I can help individuals. And as long as I'm in these positions, I'm going to do that. And I think people in my position fail if they don't do these type of things. Hiring Lamar Johnson, to me, was simple, but I don't think a lot of people would have taken that chance of doing it. But here's a person that was, he was locked up for almost 29 years, but he's proven to be exonerated. So why not give him a chance?
Sure.
He wants, now, why not let him rebuild his life, have some dignity to get a paycheck, it'll take care of his family, And so I thought it was really simple to do that. But once I did it, man, I had all the attention around it, which was great. But I think it's something more people should do, and people in his position. So he's done a great job, and if I can do help others out like that, I will do it in a heartbeat.
Mayor Jones, that you do so much and do so many things, and still keep it fresh.
Yeah.
I've asked you this before, but I need to ask you it again, so perhaps those who didn't hear it. Why do you do this, Reggie Jones?
Well, I do this because this is what I feel I was put on this earth to do. I think I was, I think we all have a purpose here. And I think my purpose is to help individuals and help people, help families. Celebrating 30 years this year at the Boys and Girls Club, which I've helped thousands of young folks, become productive citizens and their families with different situations. So that just really ties right into the mayor position as far as helping the community and being there for the community and doing things for them. So it's just hand in hand. I've been doing this so long that it's like second nature.
Sure.
And I feel that when you're in these positions, I think if you're an elected official, you're failing if you do not help individuals. I mean, anyone can hold these positions. So the fact that you're there, you have to get something done for the people. And if you're not doing that, then you shouldn't be there. And so if we have the power and the position to make things happen, it's very important to me that we, deliver for the people.
Mayor Jones, you've done so much for the community, especially economically. I noticed that you and Reverend Larry Rice are very good friends, and he's an advocate for the homeless.
Yes.
And I noticed that you've also been an advocate for the homeless.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yes, I believe in, serving the least of these. And that's my philosophy each and every day. Because I'm blessed, to be doing pretty decent, in my life, and my family is doing pretty well. And so again, in my position, I think we have to do things that help those individuals who need help. I mean, there's a lot of people out here who are hurting, but not because of faults of their own, just circumstances in their life have caused them to have fall on hard times. And so I'm always doing, when a tornado situation happened down in the city, I spent a lot of time down there.
I saw you.
Did a collection in Dellwood where we took a lot of items down on Kings Highway and had a great giveaway. And people were asking me, why are you down here, Mayor? This is not Dellwood, it's not North County. I said, yeah, but we could be next. And so I feel like, we should be helping those folks because it could be Dellwood next week where there's a tornado hitting. I'm going to need community to come and help me. And so I really got a satisfaction of going down there, really helping folks and talking to a lot of folks who were impressed that, they have some county folks down there. But again, that goes back to my philosophy of being there for people and helping whoever needs help.
Do you realize how many people love you, Mayor Jones? I mean, really respect you and admire you. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I do, and it's real humbling because I'm not a person. People think I have a big personality, which I understand that, but I really am uncomfortable with praise, things of that sort, because I'm not doing it for that. I just really enjoy doing it. But when you do get honored and recognized, actually doing interviews, it's a humbling situation. And I just realized how blessed I am to be in this situation. And so I'm not going to take this situation lightly. And I'm always every day thinking of new ideas and new ways to help people. Because it's not me, because even as a mayor, I get paid very little for a salary. Most people understand that. They think these mayors and these municipalities make a lot of money. We don't, other than the Florida mayor, who makes a pretty good salary. We don't make a lot of money. And that's why I continue to work at the Boys and Girls Club. Okay. So I'm not doing it for money. I'm doing it because I'm in a position to help people, and I think I do a good job of doing that.
My last question is, where did you get that jacket?
Oh, can't tell you. You might want to get one, Bernie. People who don't know me, I have a trademark, and my trademark is my blazers. I'm a blazer lover. Like some women love purses and shoes, I love to find blazers and different blazers that maybe someone else is not wearing, and this is my little trademark. That's my little way of, my little guilty pleasure is buying blazers. So this one I think was purchased at K&G Fashion.
Well, that's beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Reggie Jones. Thank you so much,
Always
Mayor.
a pleasure.
Always a pleasure
Hayes.
with you too, sir.
Thanks.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this special tribute to the late mayor of Dellwood, Missouri, Reggie Jones. Hope you found out something about Reggie. Hope you found out how much he loved people, how much he devoted himself to public service, how much he devoted himself to the community, and how much he loved the New Life Evangelistic Center, how much he loved Reverend Larry Rice and the projects and problems that he solved right here at New Life. Reggie Jones is a wonderful person. We hope that you enjoyed it. Hope you hold his family in prayer. Reggie Jones, the mayor of Dellwood, Missouri. Special tribute to you. We love you, man. Goodbye.